Good morning. These are your Nassau Guardian highlights for Tuesday, April 14th, 2026, brought to you by your Daily Bahamas headlines, especially for people on the go and those who are visually impaired. We begin with the main story. Police have arrested a Parliamentary Registration Department employee and a 33-year-old woman in connection with a fraudulent voter's card discovered at the National Insurance Board. According to Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson, the woman attempted to use the suspected fraudulent voter's card while applying for an NIB smart card. The irregularity triggered verification checks, which revealed that the name on the voter's card did not match the identification number. Authorities say the PRD employee has now been charged. Thompson said the individual was not on the voter's register, and investigators believe the card may have been intended to obtain other forms of identification rather than to vote. He also emphasized that authentic voter cards contain security features, including a parliamentary seal, which cannot be copied. In another major story, testimony continued in the corruption trial involving former Long Island MP Adrian Gibson. Gibson's former fiancée, Alexandria Mackey, testified that she formed companies which later received contracts from the Water and Sewerage Corporation, while Gibson served as chairman. Mackey, who has been granted immunity as a cooperating witness, told the court that Gibson instructed her to create the companies. Prosecutors are attempting to show that Gibson engaged in self-dealing while in office. Gibson and several co-accused deny wrongdoing, and the trial continues. In political news, Prime Minister Philip Davis criticized the Free National Movement's proposal to introduce a national lottery if elected on May 12th. Davis described the plan as a gimmick and said the government should focus on economic development and infrastructure and opportunities for Bahamians. The FNM says a national lottery would generate funds for sports, education, youth development, and culture. The issue has become a point of debate as the election campaign intensifies. Also making headlines, demolition has begun at the long-dormant Grand Lucayan Resort in Grand Bahama. Concord Wilshire Capital says the demolition marks the first step in redeveloping the property into a major tourism project expected to include a beach club, resort, facilities, and other developments. Officials say the project could help create jobs and stimulate economic activity on the island. Meanwhile, Long Island MP Adrian Gibson has announced he will not seek re-election in the upcoming general election. Gibson said that after reflection, he decided not to run as an independent candidate despite encouragement from supporters. He said he will focus on personal matters while continuing to contribute to his community. In crime news, a 29-year-old man accused of a rape spree involving several victims has been remanded to prison. Prosecutors say the alleged incidents occurred between late March and early April. The suspect was denied bail, and the case will move to the Supreme Court. Turning now to business news, the Carlyle Group has had its financial strength rating of A affirmed by AM Best. The international ratings agency says the company maintains strong capitalization and stable performance across its operations in Bermuda, the Bahamas, and the wider Caribbean. Company officials say the rating reflects disciplined management and steady growth across its markets. Now to the editorial. Editorial headline: Assessing the FNM Manifesto. The editorial says election manifestos should be examined carefully beyond their promises. It notes that many proposals in the FNM document address familiar issues such as economic growth, immigration reform, and tourism development, but raises concerns about the proposed national lottery and whether relying on gambling revenue to fund national priorities is wise. Letters to the editor headline: Opposition to National Lottery. One letter strongly opposes the idea of a national lottery, arguing that gambling already harms vulnerable families. Letters to the editor headline: FNM puts forth clear vision in new manifesto. Another writer praises the FNM for releasing a detailed plan that voters can review and hold the party accountable for. Letters to the editor headline: Let the games begin. A third letter reflects on the coming election and urges voters to carefully consider both parties' records and promises. Those are your Nassau Guardian highlights for Tuesday, April the 14th, 2026. For the full stories and many more, Be sure to purchase a copy of today's Nassau Guardian or visit their website to read the complete edition. As the saying goes, an informed people make the strongest democracy. Enjoy your day, be blessed, and be a blessing.